This is what happens when a narcissist decides to leave, but you don't pay attention to it. Greetings, welcome back to our channel. Today, I'll be exploring a topic that I've seldom addressed before, or at least not in the depth I aim to achieve today. This subject primarily concerns the profound anger of narcissists and the intense resentment they harbor where they don't feel pursued, even after subjecting you to belittlement, discardment, and rendering you insignificant and worthless in their eyes. Narcissists heavily rely on others' reactions, particularly those they perceive as their primary sources of validation. If you were their main source, they leaned on your responses to regulate their emotions, validate themselves, and affirm their significance. When you fail to meet their expectations, you inadvertently cause them deep-seated pain. A fundamental aspect of narcissistic behavior is their approach to discarding individuals. When they decide they've reached their threshold, the decision to discard always unfolds on their terms. Narcissists are meticulously cautious and finely attuned to their sources of validation. They carefully navigate their relationships to prevent a scenario where their source might reject them prematurely. When they opt to sever ties, it's because they believe the timing is impeccable, and they've concluded it's time for you to exit their life. However, the narrative doesn't end there. Several significant dynamics are in play in this scenario. Firstly, the narcissist operates under the assumption that you're in a state of dependency, where the idea of surviving independently appears insurmountable. They believe you lack the capability to achieve autonomy, reinforcing their sense of superiority and control. Secondly, the narcissist relies on you to pursue them fervently. They anticipate you to stroke their ego, affirm their dominance, and make them feel superior. They expect you to chase them, validating their significance, ensuring you feel inferior in comparison. When they don't receive the desired validation and attention, they harbor deep-seated anger and resentment. An intriguing dynamic unfolds when you fail to respond to a narcissist as they expect. When you don't bolster their ego by chasing them or showing distress, you cause them significant distress by denying them the reaction they desperately seek for positive self-regulation. The narcissist's approach to self-regulation differs from conventional expectations. It finds solace in self-regulation when confronted with your negative emotions, especially when you highlight your perceived inferiority to them. However, when you fail to react as expected, they struggle to achieve the self-regulation they rely on. Your reactions no longer fulfill their expectations and needs, leaving them without the negative reinforcement they paradoxically thrive on. This absence of reinforcement leads to lingering pain for the narcissist. Your absence disrupts their ability to regulate their emotions using you as a tool. As you are no longer part of their equation for self-assurance, they experience a loss of control. Consequently, they begin to perceive you as the source of their discomfort, attributing their feelings of grief, dissatisfaction, and imbalance to your lack of reaction in the manner they require for self-regulation. This is where the situation takes a paradoxical twist. In a surprising turn of events, the narcissist, the very person who subjected you to mistreatment, lies, infidelity, prolonged devaluation, and ultimately abandonment, suddenly adopts the role of the victim. Their newfound sense of victimhood emerges from feeling aggrieved by you on a daily basis. Why? Because you're not enduring suffering on their behalf, because you're not offering yourself up on their altar. Understanding the narcissist's perspective and their conception of personal relationships can be perplexing to those unfamiliar with such individuals. Their mindset is distinct, often distorted, and overwhelmingly self-centered. Grasping this can aid in navigating interactions with them and shed light on the behaviors to expect. When deprived of the negative reactions they seek, narcissists can experience profound anguish and may even begin to attribute you as the source of their distress. This dynamic can create an unusual scenario where the narcissist, despite their mistreatment of you, starts to perceive themselves as the victim. A fascinating aspect of pain is its impartiality. Pain disregards distinctions between right and wrong, logic and absurdity, order and chaos, or even the most convoluted patterns of the narcissist's thoughts and mindset. If a narcissist feels pain, and they attribute it to your failure to assist them in self-regulation, they may cast you as a villain and themselves as the victim. This perspective remains unchanged even in the face of the immense damage and suffering they've inflicted upon you over a lifetime. Why? Because the narcissist grapples with a fundamental issue: accountability. Taking responsibility, acknowledging their actions, understanding cause and effect, engaging in self-reflection. These concepts are entirely foreign to the narcissist. Instead of recognizing their role and culpability, they instinctively seek a scapegoat, inevitably directing blame towards you or whoever currently occupies the focus of their pain. Ironically, narcissists seem to revel in this experience of pain. As time passes, this pain evolves into anger, revealing yet another layer of the narcissistic mindset. For them, it's far simpler to direct their anger towards you or others than to confront their own shortcomings. While the process might be straightforward in theory for a mentally healthy individual, it's an entirely different story for a narcissist. A mentally healthy person, upon causing harm or contributing to the end of a relationship, would eventually acknowledge their role in the aftermath. They possess the ability to engage in introspection, accept responsibility, and seek reconciliation if deemed appropriate. Such individuals can look themselves in the eye and honestly assess their actions. However, narcissists are devoid of this capacity. They will never engage in introspection, thus never acknowledging their role in any given situation. As a result, the possibility of reconciliation or accountability with them is non-existent. This incapacity for self-reflection and accountability distinguishes narcissists from mentally sound individuals. At times, narcissists may convince themselves that they yearn for reconciliation, that they crave your return. Yet, they seem perpetually trapped in a cycle of vindictiveness and resentment, akin to a continuous game. Their mental state resembles a turbulent roller coaster, a fruitless loop of contemplation, where thoughts of you consume their days, repeating endlessly. This cycle oscillates between anger, retaliation, and denial. They frequently ponder whether to hoover you, borrowing the term from a renowned vacuum cleaner brand, symbolizing their strategy to draw you back into their lives. They weigh the option of enticing you back into their web, or seeking a replacement to suppress thoughts of you or whoever currently irks them. While they may find temporary distractions, they invariably revert to familiar emotions of rage and self-victimization. Certainly, narcissists do experience anger. Their anger arises when others fail to facilitate their self-regulation in the manner they expect. Regrettably, narcissists often derive satisfaction from witnessing others suffering. If someone does not suffer as expected, the narcissist perceives it as a personal affront. This attitude reflects their belief in entitlement over people's emotions. In the narcissist's worldview, others must endure unhappiness to grant them even a fleeting moment of joy or stability. This sacrifice, in their distorted perception, is the price to pay for their own happiness, or well-being, loosely defined. Their notion of well-being hinges heavily on the misery of others. The cyclical nature of thought and behavior exhibited by narcissists offers insight into their intricate yet distorted comprehension of relationships and emotions. Their purported desire for reconciliation often masks their underlying need for control and the maintenance of their emotional supply. Their perpetual cycle of anger, revenge, and denial underscores their inability to break free from these detrimental thought patterns. Moreover, their reliance on others' suffering to derive satisfaction highlights the destructive impact of their actions on those in their vicinity. Understanding these dynamics is essential for effectively dealing with narcissists and mitigating the impact of their behavior. In conclusion, navigating the intricate world of narcissism can prove challenging. We trust that the insights shared in this discussion have illuminated the behavior and mindset of narcissists to some extent. If you found this content beneficial and wish to support our efforts, please take a moment to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments section below. Your engagement is highly valued, and we appreciate your input and feedback. If you believe this information could be helpful to others, please consider sharing this video. Lastly, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to stay informed about our latest content. We are dedicated to offering insightful and constructive information, and your support is instrumental in enabling us to continue this endeavor. Thank you for your time and involvement.